Welcome back to seminary, guys. So today we are in chapter 23, 3rd Nephi, chapter 23. So this is a really short chapter. It's only 14 verses. It's kind of an interesting chapter. Okay. So Christ has been preaching to the people and he's been quoting Isaiah. You remember Isaiah was a prophet and he prophesied a lot of things, and he must have been a really smart guy because a lot of his words to me are kind of hard to understand. Okay, so the first thing he tells them after preaching Isaiah's words to them, the first thing he tells them is that ye ought to search these things. Yea, a commandment I give unto you. So it's not a suggestion, a commandment. Commandments we have to do, right? Don't kill, don't steal, things that you're supposed to do, line in stone, do these things. A commandment I give unto you, that ye search these things diligently, for great are the words of Isaiah. Okay, this is interesting what he says here. For surely he spake as touching all things concerning my people. Okay, that's kind of funny verbiage there. So what he's saying is everything he spoke about pertained to all of his people, as touching all things concerning my people. So the things he talked about covered everything concerning the Lord's people. Okay? He goes on and he says, and all things that he spake have been and shall be, even according to the words which he spake. So, saying everything that's happened, all his prophecies have either been fulfilled or they will be fulfilled. There is not a single prophecy he made that was incorrect, invalid. Everything he said will be fulfilled. Okay? So it's really important that we search the scriptures, right? He's telling these guys to search the words of Isaiah, but it's important for us to search the scriptures all the time. Okay, I have a quote here by Elder Merrill J. Bateman. It says, there are certain blessings obtained when one searches the scriptures. As a person studies the words of the Lord and obeys them, he or she draws closer to the Savior and obtains a greater desire to live a righteous life. The power to resist temptation increases, and spiritual weaknesses are overcome. Spiritual wounds are healed. Okay, so we're going to have two kind of funny homework assignments in this lesson, okay? This is your first one. I talked to you yesterday about involving technology. So your homework today is to send me a GIF or a GIF. I still don't know how to say it right. How you feel when you consistently read the scriptures. All right? So send me a GIF that tells me how you feel when you consistently read the scriptures, or after you study the scriptures. Let's just say after you study the scriptures. Either one, okay? That's your first one you have to send me, okay? All right. So now Christ calls to Nephi. Nephi's supposed to have been the record keeper, right? We're on Nephi Jr., right? Remember, everybody keeps naming their kids Lehi and Nephi. We're on Nephi Jr. now. Okay. And the Lord kind of hollers at him, right? Kind of gets onto him. Okay. If you want to read this chapter, it's super quick, and it's, like I said, it's really fun to read. It says in verse 7, that's where you want to start, 7 through 14, 7 verses, anybody can read that. That he said unto Nephi, bring forth the record which ye have kept. And when Nephi had brought forth the records and laid them before him, he cast his eyes upon them and said, verily I say unto you, I commanded my servant Samuel the Lamanite that he should testify unto this people. So he talks about what he commanded Samuel the Lamanite to do and the prophecies that he commanded. And one of them, he says, that's not in your scriptures here. That's not in your record. Why didn't you write that down? And Nephi's like, I'll do that. Okay. And he says, so Christ says, I told him to do that. And so Nephi says, yea, Lord, Samuel did prophesy according to thy words, and they were all fulfilled. And so then Jesus said unto them, this is verse 11, howbeit that ye have not written this thing. So if you heard it, why didn't you write it down? Right? And he's like, okay. And it came to pass that Nephi remembered that this thing had not been written. And it came to pass that Jesus commanded it should be written. Therefore, it was written according as he commanded. Okay, so here's your second homework. Send me another GIF that tells me how you would feel if you were in Nephi's shoes right then. How would you feel? Okay, first homework. A GIF telling me how you feel after you study the scriptures or when you consistently study them, whichever the case may be. Second GIF, how you're going to feel, how you would feel if you were Nephi right there and the Lord was kind of calling you on the carpet about not keeping the records as he wanted them kept. Okay, those are your 2 homework assignments. This is a super short video, so send me those GIFs and I will talk to you soon.